Hey people, it's me again. Anyways, I'm out doing my morning jog, my morning walk. Today is actually like the May 13th, and I've about a couple more weeks left until my birthday, and after that, I think there was supposed to be like sometime like next year is when I was supposed to do my high school reunion, and I was gonna do a video post like earlier to go all through my high school yearbooks, showing everybody about how I was like in high school, and also like showing Josh, who was also like the guitarist from corporate, but I mentioned him like maybe a couple of times on here, and anyways, he doesn't really like know me that well, but he just knows me as Matt's friend, And plus, I had to tell Matt that I'm kind of not really sure if I actually want to attend the high school reunion because of all that stuff that was just happening, all these little things that were getting in my way, for me wanting to do the things I wanted to do, and wanting me to do the things I wanted to go. I mean, not just go where I wanted to go in life, not just having a bunch of people that only see me maybe like once a year, who think they know better than I do. That they want what I want and where I should go. I mean, I'm talking about the IEP people, and then I basically it was probably around like '02 is when I kind of basically put my foot down on them. That the only people that I really want to tell more about my career goals is Dad and Mom, because they're my parents, and because I trust them more because they're my parents, and then they have been living with me for most of my life. They've known me ever since I was born, and ever since Mom and Dad brought me home from the hospital, and blah 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 blah, And the same with like Corey and Ryan, they've kind of known me ever since Mom and Dad brought me home from the hospital as a new baby. And anyways, I forgot what else I was gonna tell you. Besides that, it was also just the whole. I mean, that was all about like the whole job, because I think at the time I really just wanted to have more of a normal paying job. I didn't really want to have like all these little things that weren't really considered a job, but they were just more or less a job that didn't go anywhere, didn't amount to anything as far as that goes. And the whole thing with Party America, for that example, all I did was just basically put everything back on the shelf and stuff, and then plus I just didn't really want to do that type of a job, because I needed to have like a job where I could actually sit down for a while and take a break, Although I did like being in the library, for example, but I wish they would have kept me with the whole library thing, but other than that, really wanted to go be at like the animal shelter because I simply wanted to focus on my studies. You know, not run around and be bothered by having to do all these little things. Just that I want to get some more job experience. But anyways, I'm not really exactly sure how to put that as far as that goes, you know, without hurting their feelings, you know, if they actually ever come across this. But I think that's just my opinion on everything, you know. And I'm just being honest about it. I mean, honestly, I didn't really need to be in adult transition for that long, you know, 4 years. I probably only needed to be there for maybe like 2 years, and then they could let me go off to a 4-year school or something, you know, or something else, you know. And then I could get like just the same help as they do, the same help that I have there, but probably better, you know. And anyways, I'm just gonna switch gears a little bit. So I think it was on Bigger City that all these people were talking about do long distance relationships work and stuff, you know, but I kind of say that maybe they do, maybe they don't. But for me, and I'm not gonna try that sort of thing, you know, because for one thing is I have family and relatives here, you know, and I don't really want to go around and abandon them for someone I like or someone over some other place, or somebody at home that's just as good and even better than that. So I don't really need to have like some boyfriend that lives in Spain or some other country, or somebody that lives in another state or halfway across the country or whatever, when I basically can have somebody that's just as good and even better right in my own backyard, for that matter, you know. And the other thing that these people were talking about was on Bigger City was also closet chasers, but I think it's like, for me, maybe I had to kind of come out like another closet as far as that goes, because then I have to tell them I'm gay, but that also means I have to tell them I actually like chubs or bears, or cubs for that matter, you know. And I think it's just the whole stigma there is, for me, is that they think that I should like the jock boys or the twinks. But the truth is, I never really had a whole lot of attraction to them. Maybe a little bit, but other than that, I think I never really had much of attraction to them. And then I remember something like even earlier that maybe I even had attraction to chubs or bears even earlier than that. You know, I might have liked one of these guys who was like, he was one of the bus drivers or one of those, or maybe it was just some sort of like a subtle attraction to them, you know, and that you're not really aware of, and then he would, part of it would be considered to be a chub if he went the other way, you know, but it was more of like BHM, you know. For those people that don't know, it's like the BHM is more of like the straight counterparts of chub culture. But actually, it's just not just the BHM, but also the BBWs. which is supposed to be like the whole straight culture for that. So there's the whole fat admirers. But then fat admirer could also be an umbrella term for both, whether male or female, or straight or gay, or just like big people for that matter. You know, and that's just the only difference here. Is that I'm not doing anything wrong, because if I just like big people, but I think I have to stop right now. I think it's just already been like 10 minutes, I think.